Come here, man. Get the car. Doctor. Jimmy, lay him down. Lay him down. Squeeze. Stop the car. Get the car. Get going, Jimmy. Hurry up. Keep the car let down. Keep it down. Just lay there. Lay still. Get him straight there. I'll be up there in a few minutes. Keep him down. I'll bring you close, okay? Damn.
Championship Wrestling, bringing you great wrestling action, sanctioned by the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to World Championship Wrestling. I'm Tony Schiavone, your host, and you're ringside with the NWA, the Major League of Professional Wrestling. As we open the program today, we want to tell you right up front we have a great program for you, but also we're going to take a look at an incident that has shocked the wrestling world. You saw at the top of the program just a little clip of what had happened. It deals with Ron Garvin, the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette, and of all the incidents that have taken place in professional wrestling, this, to me, is the most serious. We got to look at it later on. It's something we don't like to look at, but we have to. And our thoughts right now are with the man with the hands of stone, Ron Garvin. The thunderous roar for the boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant against Thunderfoot #2 in our first event on World Championship Wrestling. And the boogeyman. Okay, Jimmy Valiant. That one, which obviously was a thumb to the throat, was for me, and I'm sure all the fans who love the boogeyman out there. What a great athlete, and he's had so many great wins here on TV, in the arenas around the country. The man has become quite a legend here on World Championship Wrestling. Jimmy Valiant working on the arm, takes him down by the mask. On the program here today, we'll see Brad Armstrong, Bob Armstrong, Dick Murdoch, Ivan Koloff, Vladimir Petrov, the World Tag Team Champions, Rick Rude and the Raging Bull. Also, the Rock and Roll Express. Mike Rotunda is back with us, and we'll talk with him.
Hey, Tony, you want to see what this ugly dude looks like?
Valiant now threatening to take his mask off. And also, as we said, a big 8-man tag team match featuring members of the Four Horsemen in a gigantic match. That's all here today. Barry Windham and many others. And then, of course, the incident we talked about with Ron Garvin, and we'll show you that later on.
Hey, one more kiss, Tony. One more kiss.
Valiant. Right again, below the chin, Jimmy Valiant. Pulling down the arm of Thunderfoot #2. And now doing a little bit more than pulling on the arm.
What's your head, boy?
Good takeover, Valiant right with the head. You look at Valiant's style and the way he wrestles in the ring. Obviously does not worry about a rule book. Or what he has to do. fans are calling, take off the mask. And now, Thunderfoot number 2 can do nothing because he can't see. Finally back. Fans want to remind you of the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup Tag Team Tournament coming up your way, April 10th in the 11th Baltimore Arena. Couple of weeks. We will see all 24 teams take a look at the seeding, top 10 seeds, and all the teams in that tournament. More than likely, Thunderfoot number 1 and number 2 will be in it. And, of course, Jimmy Valiant. The fans chanting, "We want the mask!" Scrappy McCowan, our referee, wanting Jimmy Valiant. Right hard of the turnbuckle.
I can beat him anytime, baby.
Valiant with that claim of his would take a good look at Thunderfoot and the pain he's going through.
Hey, Tony, I can beat him like a red-headed stepchild.
And Valiant with that claim that he can beat him anytime he wants. And there's no doubt about it that Valiant has been taking care of Thunderfoot number 2 over and over again. It's a match. There's his elbow. Out of the ropes. Then the elbow drop from Valiant. There's your winner. The Boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant. And it was all Jimmy Valiant for the opening bell. Sensational wins every week here on TV, and my chance to get to talk to the one and only Boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant. What are you listening to here?
You hear what they saying, Tony?
Yeah, they're sick people, Jimmy.
They saying, give somebody some sugar. Now, I don't know. Who do you want me to give sugar to? Huh? Tony? Tony Shavato. Don't be looking around there, brother. You looking for somebody else, huh?
I was looking for David.
You got any search or something, man? You know, we might do a little smooching, huh? All right. You know, Tony, the Boogeyman's been up all night long. The Boogeyman went to a boogie-woogie party last night. I heard the milkman at the door. Tossing and turning. Tossing and turning. Boom, 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 boom. Get a job. Yeah, baby, I feel good today, man. When I get done here, I'm going to Gainesville, Georgia. And when I get done with Gainesville, I'm going home and I'm going to hibernate. I'm going to sleep 3 or 4 days, you understand? Yeah. Then I'm going to get up and I'm going to do me about 400 or 500 push-ups. Yeah. I'm going to squat about 400 or 500 pounds. Now, I don't want to brag or nothing, you understand? Because my mama didn't raise no braggers. But I can squat with 400 or 500 pounds. Maybe only 12, 13 times, you understand? Well, I'm going to get in good shape, the Boogeyman is. And then I'm going to find me a partner, and I'm going for the Crockett's Cup, baby. The Crockett's Cup, yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to give my proceeds if I win with my partner. He can do anything he wants with his. I'm going to give my proceeds to my peoples. I'm going to divide it to the shut-ins that the peoples out there. I'm going to divide it to the crippled children, the boys club, the YMCA, the UMCA, and the YWUMCA. You understand? All them letters I'm involved with, baby. I get to towns early, and I go to see my peoples. All my little peoples, you understand? All right, you want me to kiss Tony now? Oh.
We gotta go. We'll see you in just a minute.
All right.
Tell you what, I've been told to make room for the Awesome Twosome, the World Tag Team Champions, along with their manager, Paul Jones.
You know, I heard through a grapevine that the names for the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup is supposed to be out next week. Well, I'm awfully surprised that Mr. Jim Crockett himself didn't call me aside last week and ask me if the World Champions would make the Memorial Cup. Well, let me tell you something. but I'm quite sure that my men will be #1 seed when the names are released. You know, the Road Warriors are proud owners of the Jim Crockett Memorial Cup. Well, let me tell you something, Road Warriors. $1 million will make you a loser, and that is a promise. And let me tell you, everybody figures that the Rock and Roll Express has a great chance at the Cup. They're going around, they want cage matches with the world champions. Well, let me tell you something. Those cage matches are liable to just get you eliminated completely from the Memorial Cup. Because my men are not animals. They shouldn't be caged up and embarrassed. They are world champions. And they're going to be awful mad when they have to get in the cage.
That's right, Paul. In other words, a man's mind can be real cluttered right about now. The Crockett Memorial Cup, $1,000.
Million, baby.
$1 million.
Million.
Excuse me. And we know that's coming our way, Bull. But now about these cage matches with the Rock and Roll Express. You see, they work real fine as a team, Shivani. They're real quick. They're in and out. As long as they have an area that they can control. But once confined inside the cage, boys, I'm afraid all the odds come to the smooth operator in the Bull because we're just so much bigger and just so much badder. Tell him, Bull.
You know what he's trying to say, Tony Schiavone? It's one thing, Daddy. You're under the gun and you're out on the run. So, Daddy, whenever you want to let it go, all you got to do is raise your hand because nobody does it like R&R. And when we come to town, baby, whether it be cage, whether it be wire, whether it be just a squared circle, you know the double R's, the only express of professional wrestling, is going to do it. So remember that, Daddy. When the heat is on, we turn it on, and we like it hotter. That's exactly what we want from the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes and Chiquita, and anybody else, because the R&R Express is going to be the #1 team in the Memorial Cup, and we will walk out with it because we are totally, totally awesome.
Paul Jones and the World Tag Team Champions. Let's go to the ring. In the ring, Brad Armstrong against Larry Stevens in this event on World Championship Wrestling. Boy, there's no doubt about it as we head closer and closer to the month of March, into the springtime, and then the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup. And these athletes are in prime shape right now. And here's one of the better ones, one of the great athletes, Brad Armstrong. And now that Bullet Bob is back, you know Brad and Bob are going to put in their bid or be waiting along by their mailbox for that invitation for the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup. But that's not all. Each and every week, the NWA comes your way with the greatest wrestling in the world. All over the world. Going to more cities, more towns. And the fans are great all over the world. Fans, a reminder that our Sunday edition program of World Championship Wrestling comes your way at 5:35 Eastern Time right here on the Superstation. That's tomorrow night. Don't forget that time, 5:35 Eastern Time on the Superstation. Our Sunday edition program of World Championship Wrestling. Armstrong still working on that left arm. Such a precision wrestler. He works on one part of the body until he has you worn down. And then he comes with that neck breaker to finish you off. And that's exactly what Brad's doing right there. Still with that arm behind Stevens. Stevens up to his feet now. Fans, I want you to stay tight now because after the commercial, after this match, we'll take a look in depth at what happened to Ron Garvin. And that'll be coming up after the break. We'll take a long look at that. A lot of things have happened in the world of wrestling, including what has happened to Dick Murdoch and his feelings towards Dusty and Nikita. And then, of course, with Ron Garvin. Good takedown again by Armstrong. Right to the arm. Stevens up once again. Great move by Armstrong. Took him right over. And once again holds onto the arm. Got to remember, as much as Stevens works to get out of the hold, it's that much more energy and that much more pressure on that arm, on that shoulder. Armstrong hooks onto the arm again. Now they're in the ropes. Rolled up in a package. And Stevens got out of it. Back to the ropes again, and Scrappy calling for the break. Got it at the break. Great takedown once again for Brad Armstrong. Still holding on to the arm. World Championship Wrestling would like to say hello to Vernon and Nell Martin of Geraldine, Alabama. Married back in 1931, 56 years anniversary. And their anniversary took place last weekend. The NWA coming your way very soon up in the state of Alabama. Shoulder block. And now Stevens with a great move to take down Armstrong. Only got a 1 count though, and Brad was quickly up. And still Armstrong comes up with that left arm. He has stayed on that arm from the opening bell. One thing about it, when something happens, the serious nature of what happened to Ronnie Garvin, it is felt all through the wrestling world. And the talk on the mind of all the athletes in the NWA was Ron Garvin. What happened? Obviously, some guys will take one side of the issue and other guys the other side. But something came about because of what happened, and we're going to take a look at it. Still on the arm, Armstrong. Has him up. Back to the corner. Stevens. Forearms, now a shoulder. Armstrong. Oh, he came up with a clothesline. And really nailed Stevens. Sprang right out of that turnbuckle and now hooks that leg. There's that neck breaker. Brad Armstrong. He will get the pin. The winner, Brad Armstrong. That chant can mean only one thing. Here they are, Rock and Roll Express.
Woo-woo! We love you too, baby. Let me tell you what it's all about. But you know, Tony, we had the experience to watch one of the most horrifying things that I've ever seen in professional wrestling. I'm talking about an incident with Ronnie Garvin where Jimmy Cornette stooped so low that he couldn't take it no more, that he threw fire in Ronnie Garvin's face. But you know what you did, Jimmy Cornette? You threw fire in a man's face, brother, to stop him from making a living, to stop him from feeding his family. But you see things turn around a bit later. Because come to find out, Jimmy Garvin was there. Jimmy Garvin and Ronnie Garvin, like this right here, brother, let me tell you one thing. Blood is a lot thicker than water, Jack. And your day is going to come, Jimmy Cornette, because I'll tell you anything. If the Garvins ever need the Rock and Roll Express, baby, we stand right there beside you, and we'll run them all the way back to Louisville, Kentucky. And then again, let's talk about this tag team tournament that's coming up. For $1 million, the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup in Baltimore, Maryland. Now you get all these tag teams coming out here telling them about how bad they are and all the things they can do.
But you see, and everybody else has known before, that the Rock and Roll Express, baby, can turn poison ivy into a great big rose bush, Jack. And that's exactly what's gonna happen, baby, because we're coming there to mean business. Woo! And now, my favorite time of all is to talk about the NWA World Tag Team belts that I think rightly belong to us, but Raging Bull and Rick Rude have got them around their waist with that Paul Jones. Because you see, every time we wrestle these guys or girls or whatever you want to call them, they always got some kind of interference. They're running Tony, or there's Paul Jones coming right in. But let me tell you one thing, guys. One of the most dangerous matches and one of the best matches to have a little guts in is to stick a cage right around that ring. Now, if you get it, guys, we don't care. Sign that match anywhere in the world. Because the Rock and Roll Express is the best. There's only one R&R right here, baby. And it is the Rock and Roll Express. Woo! And we love you.
All right, fans, when we come back, we'll take a look at what happened to Ron Garvin. Don't you dare go away. Okay, fans, back with you now on World Championship Wrestling. Professional wrestling is a very tough sport. And when you get into the ring as a wrestler, you know you're going to undergo many injuries at many times. However, what we're about to see is a horrible incident that happened in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had a chance to be there and witness for myself what some people will stoop to hurt other people. Now, for many weeks, Jim Cornette had come out here saying, we're going to hurt Ronnie Garvin. We're going to take Ronnie Garvin out of wrestling. Well, Jim Cornette attempted to do that. And say what you want about Jim Cornette. Some people say Jim Cornette should not be in professional wrestling. A lot of people have told me that. I'm not a man to make that decision. However, I want you to take a long look at what happened to Ronnie Garvin and decide for yourself what some people will stoop to. Let's take a look at that.
He caught him by surprise coming off of the ropes, but he couldn't hold him. Dennis was right there. He was backing up Bobby, Johnny.
That was all legal. That was a tag made in there. Had a cut off and saved by the Midnight Express. Shows what an intelligent team that they are. Cornette has had them together a long time. And they want these belts in the worst way.
And I think, too, it shows the effect of the beating now on Barry Windham, because if Barry had really been thinking with a clear head when he was in the ropes, he would have reached back for a tag to Ronnie Garvin over there, Johnny.
Well, when you're in a bad shape as Barry's been, and he's been in this situation for 4 or 5 minutes now, you kind of lose track of where you're at in the ring, and he probably did not realize how close he was to that tag, as they have stayed right on top of him since they got the upper hand, Bob.
Clawing and ripping at the back and now the chest.
The only thing that's kept Barry going is that championship that's built into certain individuals. Hard right by beautiful Bobby. He doesn't get a breath.
Well, Bobby again, as he came charging into the ring, got between Windham and his partner Ronnie Garvin. At that time, Windham got a foot across the bottom rope. That stopped the count.
You notice that they've really kept him, except for maybe one occasion, a long way away from tagging his partner Ronnie Garvin. And right now, taking advantage of every situation. The Midnight Express are not losing one situation here. Cornette on his way over here again.
All right.
The referee was all the way across the ring. How can we pin the man when he ain't there to count?
Cornette complaining about the referee not counting. Dennis looked like he was trying to get Windham up for the suplex. He can't get it up, and there goes Dennis.
He did! Suplex! Both men down! Both men are out of there! On the mat! Barry doesn't know which corner to go to! Both men down! Holy cow! He got it!
Barry Windham just dove to the corner for the tag. Ronnie Garvin. And Garvin, who is completely fresh, look at him go to work.
Oh, right hand! Here he comes! Here comes that right hand! Ronnie Garvin makes it in right field! He got him! Saved by beautiful Bobby! Beautiful Bobby just in time! All four in the ring! Garvin is down! Here's Big Bubba!
Bubba now drags Bobby out of the ring. He's dragging Windham out of the ring. Cornette's in the ring. What is Cornette doing?
What's Cornette doing?
Oh, he threw something something flame in the eyes and in the face of Garvin. The referee said, ring the bell. Look at Garvin staggering, reeling, and rolling around the ring in tremendous pain. No, wait a minute. And here they come to get the bell.
Jim Cornette! What was that? Ronnie Garvin bringing a bunch of guys in. Rock and Roll Express. Just a huge ball of flame by Cornette right in the face of Ronnie Garvin.
I have never seen anything like that. I don't know what Cornette did, but all of a sudden there was a ball of fire right in the face of Ronnie Garvin, and he's just withering in pain down in the ring now.
Well, we saw Cornette in the ring. We couldn't understand what he was doing. He was fumbling around with something. Ronnie got up, groggy. Here's Tim Horner, and here's Jimmy Garvin. Jimmy Garvin in the ring.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. What's he doing? Yes, gorgeous. Jimmy comes in. He's got a towel now around the face of Garvin. Precious is in there.
Precious is in. They're trying. Jimmy Garvin trying to lead Ronnie Garvin out. Precious showing him the way. Let's see if they go down.
It's gorgeous Jimmy Garvin in.
Precious right behind him. They're leading him down the aisle. Looks like toward the dressing room, Bob. Cameraman with him. Maybe we can stay with it. There's your Rock and Roll Express. Ronnie Garvin with a face full of fire there. Jimmy Garvin in.
Obviously pandemonium, not only outside in the ring, but also in the dressing room. And when they got to the dressing room, Ronnie Garvin drops to his knee, collapses. And, of course, you saw gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with his hand around Ronnie Garvin. That's not all that happened. When we come back, we'll take a look. First of all, let me tell you that Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express did leave the ring with those U.S. Tag Team titles, but obviously they did not win those titles. And hopefully something will be done to get the belts back to Barry Windham and Ronnie Garvin. But Ronnie Garvin collapsed in the dressing room, and that was not all. When we come back, we'll take a look at more.
Oh, my God.
Bullet Bob Armstrong, Brad Armstrong. Gentlemen, we were all there. It's a horrible thing to look at.
You know, Tony, the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup is coming up. And you know, like you said a little while ago, the Midnight Express, they didn't win those belts, those U.S. tag belts. What we saw happen with Ronnie Garvin, brother, they got $1 million they're putting on the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, which is a tag team tournament coming up, invitation only. The Bullet and myself have been invited, very proud of it. But I tell you what, I don't care how much money is put up for a Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup, $1 million. You can't put a price on eyesight, brother. And you did something to Ronnie Garvin, and I tell you what, Ronnie Garvin is just like myself. He was taught the same way I was brought up by my daddy, saying, never say die, and the boy ain't laying down for nobody. He's training right now, and I tell you what, when them eyes get better, son, they're going to be looking at you, Jim Cornette. And I tell you this, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes when he gets right.
Exactly right, partner. You know, the closer this Crockett Cup comes, the more people are being injured. Seems like people are trying to eliminate the competition. Look at Dick Murdoch, turned on Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
That's right.
Well, Dick Murdoch, you got something to learn, brother. You can't kill a dream, especially an American dream.
That's right.
And Ronnie Garvin, I know where you're at, brother. I've worked out with you, and I know you're tough, and I know you're going to be back. And Cornette, you should have burned that man's legs off, because as long as he's walking, you're in serious trouble. You can count on it. $1 million first prize. The biggest and strongest men in the world today will be in that Crockett Cup, and we may not be the biggest. We may have to use our brains a little bit, but there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, brother. And I'll tell you what, we got the will, we may find a way. One thing about it, Baltimore, it's going to take 2 days. Not just 1 day, it's going to take 48 hours, but when it's all over, that $1 million may float away, but you'll always be able to say we were the best team in 1987.
Okay, Bullet Bob and Brad Armstrong. Now, let's go back to the situation that they're talking about and the whole wrestling world is talking about. And we take you back to where they were leaving the ring once again. When we left you, Ronnie Garvin had collapsed in the dressing room. Well, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin was there. He went into a fit of rage. Let's take you back once again to the incident.
Get the car. Get the water. Can't wait for ambulance. Wait a minute. on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Come on. Come on, Jimmy. 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 I can't believe it. Over here. Over here, Ronnie. Come on. Easy, doctor. Jimmy, lay him down. Lay him down. Squeeze, drive the car. Get the car. Get going, Jimmy. Hurry up. Keep the car let down. Give it down. Just Slater, lay still. Get him straight there. I'll be up there in a few minutes. Keep him down. I'll bring you close, okay? Damn.
You know, we were all shocked and we were all puzzled at the same time because of the actions of gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, not only helping Ronnie out of the ring, but then going over attacking Cornette in the dressing room. But then, of course, Precious was saying, we got to get him to the hospital, we got to get him out of here, which they did. However, later on, we had a chance to talk to gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and he revealed exactly what was going through his mind.
Right now, I just can't really believe that what's happened to my brother Ronnie has really happened. I knew Jimmy Cornette was a very wanton individual, Bob, and at this time my brother Ronnie's got some horrifying burns on his face. And it makes me wonder, you know, it's such a crying shame. It's a crying shame that there's people like Jimmy Cornette in the professional wrestling sport. It's a crying shame that tragedies like this have to happen. You know, I think to myself, you know, gorgeous Jay, what in the world are you doing out here, man? I mean, like, I had everything going. My whole world's just falling apart on top of me right now. Squeezes with Ronnie. Right now, I don't know really whether just to break down and just cash it all in because it's a crying shame. Ronnie's hurt real bad, and I feel that I should be the one probably. I'm the one that, of the two brothers, probably deserves to be in the emergency room. I'm the one that, you know, stretches the rules and breaks the rules a bit. Ronnie Garvin is a straightforward man, has always wrestled by the rules and regulations. And I've always loved him, too. We've went our separate ways. You know, he believed in his type of wrestling, and I believed in mine. I have fun in what I'm doing, and I guess he was a little more serious, you know, but both of us are brothers and nobody can take that from us. And I think that what's about to happen to Jimmy Cornette and the Midnight Express isn't going to be very pretty. What's about to happen to Jimmy Cornette is no telling. Jimmy Cornette, Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condor, you're a bunch of sick individuals. You're a bunch of sick individuals for hurting my brother Ronnie that way. Using flame and fire and things like that, I mean, that's just uncalled for. It's completely uncalled for in this sport. But I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to say for anybody that cares to listen that I'm going to get revenge for my brother Ronnie one way or another. Jimmy Cornette, I'm going to come after you. The smiling sense of humor, gorgeous Jay, is gone, Pally. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to get them one by one, or I'm going to get all four of them at the same time, and I'm counting that big fat slob Bubba. Because it really don't matter. Ronnie Garvin and Jimmy Garvin have been known to fight, and will fight to the end. And right now, I just don't really know what Ronnie Garvin and professional wrestling, I really don't know if Ronnie Garvin's going to be able to come back to professional wrestling. I don't know. It was a horrifying tragedy. But I can promise you one thing, that I'm going to get him one way or another. And before it's all over with, I'm going to get revenge for the Garvin brothers.
Back with you on the Superstation, Vladimir Petrov, Ivy Koloff, and Dick Murdoch against Rick Sullivan, David Isley, and Tommy Angel. And I mean, the fans are really on Dick Murdoch with a chant of traitor. They chanted earlier during the break, and Murdoch just turned around and walked off as he had come out a few minutes early. And look at him. Well, when you choose your own path, I guess you got to take the consequences. Ivan Koloff against David Isley, the two men in this big six-man event. And the words from Dick Murdoch, I'm here to destroy Dusty Rhodes. I'm here to finish him, take him apart. Throws Isley outside. And runs Isley right in to our podium here. Murdoch with intensity. Murdoch demanding that Dusty Rhodes come out right now. Fans are chanting for Dusty and Nikita as Petrov just pulls apart Isley. And now the chant of traitor as Murdoch comes in with that big elbow. 7 long years, as he said. He and Dusty were the greatest tag team in the world, and he felt left out. So as a result, he teams up with Ivan and Petrov. Ivan Koloff right to the midsection. Tommy Angel getting the punishment right there. Tosses him right over. Petrov right to the midsection. I tell you, a combination of Ivan and Murdoch, or Petrov and Ivan, or Petrov and Murdoch is an awesome combination. And they're all wrestling, doing things like they're doing right there in the ring for one reason. They want Dusty. They want Nikita Koloff. They want to end the careers of the two men. Now Tommy Angel being dragged out of the ring, held on the apron. That elbow was right on the throat. And Scrappy McGowan and is still having problems with the Russians in the ring as Murdoch punishes Tommy Angel. Picks him up, slams him on the hard floor. Angel finally back in as Ivan Koloff throws him over to the corner, and now Sullivan comes in, immediately knocked off his feet. The intensity of these three men, they mean business. Whipped around. Oh, the Russian sickle. It took his head right off. There's your pin. Destruction.
You say it right, Vladimir Petrov. And yeah, this is our interview time. I'd appreciate if you shut your mouth. All these fat, lazy people out there sitting there criticizing us. Saying what chances that old man Ivan Koloff got against superpowers, Nikita Sickle, Dusty Rhodes bionic elbow. I tell you, I got very good chance. You see on a couple of occasions, Vladimir, Dick Murdoch put down superpowers. Well, you're going to see again in Philadelphia tonight what is going to happen to superpowers. I see Nikita on magazine, wrestling magazine. You are crying because of what happened to Magda TA. Well, after tonight in Philadelphia, you'll be able to lay in bed next to him and cry with him.
You see, we will not stop until Superpowers have put down Dusty Rhodes. You used to be Dick Murdoch's partner until you double-crossed him. Now we've got common goal. Common goal, the destruction of Superpowers. Captain.
Having Koloff Vladimir, I have been around professional wrestling a long time, and Nikita Koloff, you pull that musclehead body up, and you get a gander of that sickle. What a devastating sickle, my partner. Vladimir just came in, boy. Now let me tell you something, Tony. I've been riding around and I've been traveling with Ivan Koloff and Vladimir for a while. And their way of thinking and the way they treat people in Russia ain't too bad. It reminds me of this great state of Texas, because everyone knows that Texas and Texans are the greatest people and the greatest athletes in the world today. Now, Dusty Rhodes, you got a lot of people rallying around you, such bullet Bob Armstrong. Armstrong, you better keep your nose out of other people's business. And in a rock and roll, I heard you 2 weeks ago. Let me tell you something, Punky and Hoot. You better stay out of people's business, because the awesome threesome right here are going to destroy everyone. And you talk about Jim Crockett Memorial Cup in Baltimore, Maryland. Well, Jimmy Crockett, you just get your money ready, because I'm going to take Ivan Koloff and Vladimir and that $1 million, and I'm going to show them what it is to party like a redneck. I'm going to take them to the great state of Texas, and we're going to sit there and drink cold beer and whistle Hank Williams Jr., and we're going to watch a video of how we crippled and totally destroy Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes. Dusty, quit hiding behind people and get out here and let's fight it out. You're from Texas, and I'm from Texas, and we're the toughest people on the face of the earth, so let's bring it on and just go for it.
Fans, we'll be back right after this. As they get underway, remind you to watch us also tomorrow night at 5:35 Eastern Time right here on the Superstation for our Sunday edition of World Championship Wrestling. Tomorrow night, 5:35 Eastern Time. The Raging Bull, Rick Rude, World Tag Team Champions, and awesome, every bit as awesome as always. Oh, what a move by Rick Rude. 4 men are in the ring now. The Bull punishes Alan Martin. Okay, we got to take a small break, and we'll be back with more, our second hour of World Championship Wrestling. Don't go away. Back once again. Welcome back to our second hour of the best of wrestling, the NWA World Championship Wrestling. I'm Tony Schiavone. We open up with a match that began at the end of the first hour. We're talking about the World Tag Team Champions, Ravishing Rick Rude, the Raging Bull, going up against Ricky Nelson, who's in the ring and being destroyed right now, and Alan Martin. That's it. Oh, and they still punish Nelson. And throw Alan Martin out of the ring, hard on the floor. Jones directing traffic up there, telling these men what to do. Here come the Rock and Roll Express. Rabbit and Ricky are in there against the champions. Paul Jones quickly left the ring. Throwing both men together. Double drop kick on Rick Rude. And on the ball. The Rock and Roll Express have come in and cleared house. And Jones is livid. The chant of rock and roll, people on their feet here in the studio. It's a virtual standoff. right here. Jones getting his man out.
They do anything to try to get a cage match. My men are not animals. We got anything to say, baby. You see how it is right here, Tony. And the rest of the world sees that when it comes 202, the Raging Bull, and you, Rick Rude, you don't have a chance, baby. So put that cage up. Put that cage up, baby. And those belts will go back to us and all these Washington. We love you, baby. Woo!
Robert and Ricky, the Rock and Roll Express. More action right after this. Back with James J. Dillon and Ole Anderson.
You know, Tony, each and every week, members of the Four Horsemen are regularly seen here because World Championship Wrestling right here in the Superstation is the hottest thing all across the country. And the Four Horsemen dominate professional wrestling, as I said, week in and week out. And because of our busy schedules, we can't always be here, each and every one of us every week. Nature Boy Ric Flair, a mainstay, just happens to be a real busy man doing some things today. A lot of people are saying some things because The Rock's been absent from the scene for a couple weeks. But mind you, Ole Anderson is the senior member of the Four Horsemen. Things are just as tight as they've always been, and the man's been a little bit busy, but he's here today, and I thought he should have this opportunity to come out here and just say whatever he's thinking.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, I apologize that I'm not here every week. I've been pretty busy the last couple of months. But I want everybody to know, if you think about it for a second, you realize that the Horsemen started right here. It started with Gene and I. As time went by, we brought in one other man who turned out to be the greatest Horseman, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair. We went a little bit longer. Arn Anderson came into the picture. That's the Four Horsemen, four men that were dedicated to being the best at professional wrestling. And it wasn't easy being a horseman. Gene, when he got hurt, left a void in the Four Horsemen, and that's when we brought in an outsider. A guy that's held a lot of titles, a guy that we're proud of, Tully Blanchard. Once again, Four Horsemen reign supreme in the wrestling world. Now, there's another man that would like to become a horseman. Right now, he's an associate. I'm talking about a young man who's got everything that it would take to be a horseman, Lex Luger. He's big, he's strong, he's got courage, he's got strength, he's got stamina. He's probably one of the finest athletes that I've ever seen. But I've been explaining it. There are four horsemen, not five, only four. And as good as Lex Luger is, right now, there is no way. Maybe an associate, but there is no way because the Four Horsemen are just that. Four men. Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair. Four Horsemen.
Ole Anderson along with James J. Dillon. Let's go to the ring. And in the ring, it's White Lightning and Tim Horner going up against Randy Barber. The words from Ole Anderson. Wow, what a program today so far. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of things have happened. The top athletes are right here. We say that week in and week out. And all the top stars in wrestling. I looked on my page of wishes and anniversaries and neglected to wish Frank and Grace Crowley of Fort Payne, Alabama, happy 56th anniversary. And hello to Amber Peters of Atlanta. And all of our friends. World Championship Wrestling is worldwide. Into the ropes. Good tackle by Barber that time. And a good leg takedown right over top. Tim Horner, and they call him White Lightning, as he said, because he's sudden. He is on you before you know it. We heard Ole talk about the Four Horsemen. Well, Ole and Arn and Tully and Lex Luger in an 8-man tag team event. First time ever here. World Championship Wrestling, 8-man tag team event. And the Horsemen a part of it. Should be a great match. Horner continues to work on the arm. Back to the ropes again. Side headlock. Barber stayed right with Horner so far. Great arm takedown. Just too much firepower right there for Horner. And Barber finds himself face down on the mat once again. Scrappy McGowan asking Randy Barber if he wants to give, but still Horner hooks onto that arm. Pretty soon the NWA World Championship Wrestling will be coming your way to great cities like Boston, Massachusetts, Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Chattanooga, Los Angeles, Albuquerque, Las Cruces, back in Jacksonville. You talk about a hot city for the NWA, Jacksonville, Florida. Up against the ropes. Oh, there was a clothesline from a standing position by White Lightning. Got a count on him there. Hard suplex over the top. Reversal by Barber. Horner. Barber missed. Horner locks him up. Bridges over. And secures the win. White Lightning, Tim Horner, another sensational win. The superpowers, Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff.
Well, you know, Dick Murdoch come on here today, and I could not help but hear he's just a little bit upset. And he has a right to be upset. You see, I have heard from many different people, Dick Murdoch, that you, for attacking the American dream and Nikita, are not only a coward and a yellow, they don't even like you in your hometown anymore, Dick Murdoch. You can talk about the great state of Texas, and you can care about Texas, but Texas don't care about you anymore, Dick Murdoch. Ivan Koloff said many times now, Nikita Koloff is like all the American people. Well, that's good. Dick Murdoch, you are now like all the stinking Russians. You see, you are going down, Dick Murdoch. Ivan Koloff, tonight in Philadelphia, you are going to destroy the superpower. Well, I and the American Dream have surprise for you tonight in Philadelphia. Adin, Diva, 3. Think about it, Ivan Koloff. A surprise for you. That's all I'm going to say.
There's a lot in the news right now about America. There's a lot in the news about freedom. But months ago, when Nikita Koloff chose freedom, that was news, Daddy. That was big news. The superpowers now form the most awesome two in the world. And Dick Murdoch, I know you will. I know you two stinking old ladies. I know all your stinking horses, your stinking dogs, and I know that yellow streak that runs down that yellow back of you one egg-sucking dog. So when you call me out, you calling out America, and you calling out my main man, the Russian nightmare Nikita Koloff. And what you're conjuring up now is some pain, blues, and agony for you three men. Now, dear, And it's true, I am a little bit older, but I'm still running against the wind. I'm still living against the wind. You understand? And I will be kicking your honey against the wind.
Dusty and Nikita, more action when we come back. Back with you once again, the leader of the Four Horsemen, James J. Dillon, associate Lex Luger.
You know, things are really getting hot as we go towards the Cup. Ronnie Garvin went down, and things like this happen when you're talking about $1 million. There's a lot of money involved. But one thing for sure, the Four Horsemen are going to be right in the thick of it. And it felt real good to see Ole back by our side today. And you see, one of the keys that makes the Four Horsemen work is we've got a little something that covers all the bases. Any successful football team needs that veteran quarterback, the guy that's had the experience, that's been in the trenches. That's Ric Flair. He also needs a center that's experienced, that knows how to deal with a quarterback and open that hole for him if he has to run, or keep the running backs away from getting at him. That's where Ole Anderson comes in. But the key is youth, because you need that running back that runs with reckless abandon, and we got two of them in Arn Anderson, Lex Luger, and Tully Blanchard.
You know, I have nothing but the utmost respect for a man like Ole Anderson, the elder statesman of the Four Horsemen. He's one of the roughest, toughest individuals ever to step in the square ring, but he is right about one thing. I listened to him talk. There are voids to be filled, and this is 1987. Youth is in. Now, you know, fans been flocking. Why are they? To arenas all over the country, wherever Lex Luger is. They're scalping tickets outside the door. Why? It's obvious. You don't have to adjust your sets. Unless you have bad eyesight. I am the most awesome physical specimen in professional sports today. But there's more to it than that. You see, everyone out there, ever since they were a kid, always wishes they could take a glimpse into the future. Wish I had that crystal ball. You see, when you go to an arena and you see Lex Luger, you're stealing a glimpse of the future. Because Lex Luger, they talk about genetic engineering. They talk about the advancement of weight training. What will the athlete look like in the next century? When you see Lex Luger, you're looking at today, the athlete of the future today. So what we're talking about is the ultimate total package. Lex Luger. And when we talk about the Horsemen, Lex Luger is the final card. The compliments makes it a straight flush.
Lex Luger along with James J. Dillon. Let's go back to the ring. Big Bubba. Now he is there with beautiful Bobby and with Loverboy Dennis. Cornette is not out there with them. We're going to be talking to them a little bit later on to find out why Cornette is not there. And they got those belts that don't belong to them. Those U.S. Tag Team belts. Bubba getting geared up with a showdown in Pittsburgh on the 27th. Civic Arena in the cage, the Bunkhouse Championship against Dusty Rhodes for $100,000. Also getting geared up for a big event against Dusty Rhodes at the Boston Garden. That's on April 4th. Big Bubba! The Bubba Slam! That is a man to be reckoned with. Here they are, the Midnight Express. Obviously, you don't, those are not your titles.
You better get somebody out here to explain something to somebody, because I'm going to tell you something.
All right, here is somebody right here. Jim Crockett.
Mr. Condrey and Mr. Eaton. Mr. Cornette has been suspended from all arenas and television, period. You are going to be... Yes,
what
right.
for? We get him because he got hit by a cosmic fireball.
$1,000 a day until you bring those belts to my office.
$1,000 a day. $1,000 ain't nothing, Jimmy. Let me tell you something.
One more thing.
Jimmy Cornette's mother will buy and sell you. Do we understand each other?
One more
you don't
thing.
tell
Your
us
manager
nothing.
made one other mistake. Before you see an interview that I brought from Mr. Ronnie Garvin, I want to tell you something. Mr. Cornette signed a contract a few weeks ago, left it blank. Well, I've had Mr. Ronnie Garvin sign it, and it's going to be a cage match. Mr. Ronnie Garvin and Mr. Cornette.
Let me tell you, come here. I ain't doing it. Hey, wait a minute. This ain't
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I heard, but he didn't hear what I said. We cannot help Tony Schiavone if he got hit by a cosmic fireball.
Let's check.
That ain't our problem.
We want to hear from Ronnie Garvin.
For the way I look, but I was asked to make a statement about what happened in a United States tag title match. Well, what happened is went a little too far as I'm concerned. Now, I've got beat up many times in professional wrestling. I got hurt, and I've never really complained because it's expected. See, in professional wrestling, just like in any contact sports, you're expected to get hurt now and then. But this went a little too far, Jimmy Cornette. You purposely try to blind me, maim me, put me out of wrestling, you see, but you haven't succeeded because I'm standing here and I've got 2 good legs and 2 good arms, and I still got the hands of stones. And believe me, you're going to pay for it. You say, yes, my brother, Jimmy Garvin. Yes, he is my brother. Now, he might be the spoiled brat in the family. He might be the cocky one. He might be the one that struts around. But he's still my brother. And I still respect him for him coming to help me. And I know that blood is thicker than water. And we don't always agree on everything. And we don't always see things the same way. And we don't have the same lifestyle. But he is my brother. And believe me, the Garvin family will come back at you, Jimmy Cornette. And Big Bubba, Dennis Condrey, beautiful Bobby. I've even had a lot of fans that wrote me letters already. They want to take care of the problem. Well, I told them, don't take care of the problem. Let me do it. Let me and my brother take care of it. You see, I appreciate people writing to me and want help. But the only thing I want people to do is pray for me so I don't lose my eyesight. But even if I lose it, I can wrestle with one eye. It doesn't matter, you see, because I got a lot of guts, so is my brother. Jimmy Cornette, you never had a pair of tights on in your life. You've never sweated. You've never bled. You've been a spoiled brat all your life. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You've done something that you'll regret the rest of your life, and that's a promise from me and my brother, from the whole Garvin family. It's a promise. We're coming at you, and you're going to pay.
Ronnie Garvin. And immediately the Midnight Express go to the ring. Decimation of their opponents. Zane Smith, Randy Mulkey. With an intensity that we have not seen in a long time from these 2 men. Cornette, as you heard, suspended from TV, suspended from all arenas, and a $1,000 per day fine until the belts are back in the hands of Jim Crockett. Those stolen U.S. Tag Team title belts. Not only that, as the pin is made, what Mr. Jim Crockett said, Cornette inadvertently left open that contract. We are back with you now, World Championship Wrestling. Very happy to have back with us a man who was a great amateur athlete on the East Coast, a graduate of Syracuse University, and back with us once again to stop in and say hello, Mike Rotunda. Mike, good to see you again.
Thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here. And there's a couple reasons I'm here today. Number one, to say hi to some old friends. I'm talking about Dusty Rhodes. I'm talking about Barry Windham. I'm talking about the Boogeyman. There's another reason I'm here. I've heard about it through the grapevine, and today I came here to see for myself what it was all about. And I'm talking about Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. You know, I've been around professional wrestling for about 5 years now, and what's happened in the ring here today is something that I don't need in my life, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't need. Ronnie Garvin is hurt seriously now. But I know Ronnie Garvin, and I know the type of person he is, and he'll be back. You should have took him out all the way, Cornette, if you tried, because that man's got a knockout punch may send you back to the Ivy League, so to speak. But I'm looking forward, and I also want to say something. If Barry Windham, there's no secret to it. We've been around the horn together. We've been tag team champions. If he needs any help, he can count on me, because I'll be here.
Okay, Mike Rotunda, good to see him back with us once again. Good to see you, Mike. Let's go back to the ring. For the World Junior Heavyweight title, the champion Denny Brown will defend against Rocky King. There's your champion, Denny Brown, a man who has held on that World Junior Heavyweight belt for a long period of time. You talk about champions holding on to titles for extended periods, Denny Brown. Still the World Junior Heavyweight champion. This title reign of his has been going on since around the 1st of September of '86, but he has held it for lengths of time previously. And against a fine athlete in Rocky King, Denny Brown. Good to see Mike Rotunda stop in and say hello. Reversal, snapmare, and King bounces right back up. One thing about Denny Brown, fans, I have just received word while I was talking about Denny Brown right there, and this is another, as Rocky King with a great drop kick is right on top of the champion, Denny Brown. I've received word now from the producers and directors here that we understand the NWA has fined Midnight Express an additional $5,000 for grabbing Mr. Jim Crockett right here on TV. You saw it just moments ago. That $5,000 fine has been issued, and plus, like Jim Crockett said, a $1,000 per day fine until the belts are back on his desk. This is what you call, buddy, serious business. Back to the ropes. Brown shoots Rocky King across. Great tackle by King. Over top. Denny Brown jumps over. Reversal. Rocky King. Arm drag. And Rocky right back on top of the champion. You know, this program here today has been action-packed, but we still have an 8-man tag team event to come with the Four Horsemen. And like we have told you a couple of times already, don't forget that more of the great action of the NWA is tomorrow at 5:35 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Superstation under our Sunday edition of World Championship Wrestling. Reversal by King, drops down. Rocky got a 2 count that time. And again, Rocky King is real prime for this one. For Rocky, not only a chance to be a champion, but a chance to become a champion on nationwide TV right here. Back to the turnbuckle. A blow right to the head. Forearm shiver. Reversal by King. High backdrop. And Rocky on top of him quickly, doing the right thing there. But he didn't hook the leg, got a 2 count. Once again an arm drag, and these two men really going at it. Knee drop right to the arm. You look at the power of Rocky King. What a fine athlete he is. And you can tell right there, he's putting everything he has into this match. Good move. Pulling down the arm. You know, of all that's gone on in this program today, we have a great title match going on right now. Our thoughts have to keep going back to Ron Garvin. And, of course, Jimmy Garvin. They never really brought out the fact that they were brothers. here on Nationwide TV. They both respected their ability, each other's ability. Good knee lift by Denny Brown. And they respected each other's path, road that the other had chosen. But when something like that happens, and we saw Ronnie earlier, what a horrible sight that was. Take a look at his face. Certainly. Things are at an all-time fever pitch in the NWA. Denny Brown had a 2 count that time. Rocky King, Denny Brown, just about even so far in this match. One man gets the advantage than the other. Brown giving King a little bit time to lay on the mat, but still gets that knee right on the forehead. There's your champion, Denny Brown, snapping it up again. Rocky King got out of that. Made a mistake and slammed his head to the turnbuckle. Didn't bother the Rock. Drop kick from Rocky King. Only got a 2 count. Reversal, Brown drops down. King with a great tackle. Knocked him right to the mat. And Denny tried to pick him up for a slam. Couldn't quite get him up, but still King hit the mat very hard. Rocky has him rolled up. Denny Brown has him rolled up and has a handful of trunks as he does it. Denny Brown holding on to the trunks, rolls him up and retains the World Junior Heavyweight title. Fans, back with you on World Championship Wrestling. Very soon, the NWA returns to Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. There's one man who says he is the kingpin of Memphis, Tennessee. We're talking about Bill Superstar Dundee. He has a big battle coming up in Memphis against the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Let's listen from Bill Superstar Dundee.
Oh, Memphis, Tennessee. Thursday, March the 5th, and I think Tony Schiavone says it the best when he says the major leagues of professional wrestling is coming to town. And you're right, Daddy. And you can start from the first match to the last one. You got Dutch Mantell and the Barbarian. You got Brad Armstrong and Big Bubba, Arn Anderson and Valiant. The Garvins are going to be there. The Midnight Express is going to be there. Barry Windham and Lex Luger is going to be there. The Rock and Roll and the Raging Bull, Nikita Koloff and Tully Blanchard. And the one that the Superstar is worried about. I don't care about none of the rest of their matches. I don't care who wins and who loses. I only care about this one. And Dusty Rhodes, I have been challenging you for 5 months on the Superstation, and you haven't took me seriously. But all of a sudden you do, Jack. All of a sudden you do. You want to be the king of the South. Well, you ain't, Daddy, because that's the Superstar's hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. Me and EP was the ones that run that, Jack. You know who I'm talking about, Rhodes, and this is for the new king of it. Right, and you're looking at it, because he never really left, the old one, and that's me, and everybody out there knows it. And the last time I saw you in the Mid-South Coliseum, Dusty Rhodes, you was laying flat on your back with egg on your face. You know what I'm talking about. Compliments of the Superstar. That's right, the night that Ric Flair beat Coco Ware's brains out, and I beat yours out. Remember that, Jack? Well, now you want to get even. You want to show all them people that it was a fluke. Well, it was no fluke, Rhodes. You're looking at the new champion, me, Bill Superstar Dundee, and I'm taking you out, punk. Oh, and I know you're saying, oh, yeah, you can talk a great fight, Dundee. Well, I'm just going to show you how big and bad I am, Dusty Rhodes, because I didn't live around here for 10 years and come out on top for nothing. I'm taking you out, punk. You don't believe it, just show up.
There you go, Bill Superstar Dundee. Now we have the Baron von Raschke, going up against Brody Chase. The Baron, what a great athlete for so many years. Another great amateur wrestler. We saw Mike Rotunda out here and talked about his accolades and amateur wrestling. Here's another one, the Baron. And when he got into the pro ranks, though, he developed that claw, and that has been, down through the years, you go back and look over the record books and interview people and take opinion polls about some of the most awesome holds in professional wrestling. That claw has to be right up at the top of the list. The Bear with a hip toss. The claw that he's been able to use on the midsection, the shoulder, and especially the head. A good look at Baron von Raschke. Germany's greatest athlete for so many years. Back to the ropes, Brody Chase. Rakes the Baron across the eyes. And Chase with the right hand upside the head. Brody Chase getting some good cuts in on the Baron, but Baron has him really with that one. 3, 4 times to the turnbuckle. High back to us. And now the claw. You hear the fans. Right on top of the head of Brody Chase. The winner, Baron von Raschke. JJ, you've been out here with Ole, Lex Luger, now the man with $10,000, still with $10,000, Tully Blanchard.
I think if you look in your mailbag each week and took a reader poll, I think you'd find out that if the fans had their way, they'd be looking at one of the Four Horsemen for 60 minutes.
You know, Tony Schiavone, what is World Championship Wrestling without the Four Horsemen, huh? Right. That says it right there. The ratings keep going up. Turner's happy, Crockett's happy. Why? Because the Four Horsemen are out here each and every week showing the people just exactly what real wrestling is. Now then, the $10,000 here. Flair's still the world's heavyweight champion, out making a personal appearance today. I'm still the world's television champion. Only back. Ha-ha. The Four Horsemen are together, and the one that makes the flesh, as he said just a little while ago, Lex Luger. And a little update, you know, JJ, last week we said he benched 650. Well, he's up to 660 this week. Yeah, he was in the gym training hard. You know, 660. Animal and Hawk, eat your hearts out, because you ain't the man that Lex Luger is, and he's an associate of the Horsemen. Now then, the whole program today. Poor Ronnie Garvin. Poor Ronnie Garvin. This is a man's sport. If you can't play by the rules and get in there and gut it out and tough it out, go back to where you come from, Ronnie Garvin. One eye or not, it makes no difference. Your brother can come back, tears in his eyes, and say what he's going to do. Well, I got news for you people. The Midnight Express, Bobby and Dennis, are tough, bad apples. They held the World's Tag Team Championships longer than anybody else. And they are tough and bad. And if you think they're just going to cringe and cry and crawl in a hole because Ronnie Garvin, with the hands of stone, it says he's going to come out here and knock somebody out.
He's out of here.
Ronnie Garvin, you, your brother, and everybody else, go back and rethink your thoughts, because I know Bobby and Dennis. I know them well. But remember, JJ, let's take our money and go.
We got a big match coming up.
That's it.
Big 8-man match. We'll have that right after this timeout. For the first time ever on Nationwide TV, right here on the Super Station, an 8-man tag team event. Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Lex Luger, members of the Four Horsemen, along with J.J. Dillon, against Eddie Roberts, Dutch Mantell, Bullet Bob Armstrong, and Ricky Lee Jones. Eddie Roberts, slam on Arn Anderson, wrong corner. And all four men get a crack at Arn Anderson. And Arn's in the right place right now. Somewhere Eddie Roberts does not want to be, but all of a sudden he finds himself right there. Ricky Lee Jones. Good toss across the ring. Flying head scissors. Good drop kick. And Ricky Lee tried one too many times. Arn Anderson got in there. And now Lex Luger against Bullet Bob Armstrong. Luger grabs him. Back for Ole Anderson. Armstrong a reversal. Ole and Armstrong both coming to hell. Armstrong takes him down. Dutch Mantell in and gets thrown right to the corner of the Horseman. Boy, the wrong place to be. Think of what it is in a six-man tag. Mantell, right hand, side of the head. Connie Eddie Roberts again. And here's Ole Anderson. Good takedown. And Lex Luger, the associate. Elbow. Tag to Blanchard. The Horsemen together. What a precision team. Roberts makes the tag to Mantell. Dutch Mantell. Boy, this got to be a proud day for the Horsemen. They're looking pretty good in there.
Yeah, sure. I just want to share a little something with you. While Tully Blanchard was on the apron a minute ago, he just looked down to me and he said, what she talked about earlier, you know, it's a young man's business. We realize that, but it's the comment he made, and he was right. It's good to see Ole Anderson kick it back in again.
You're right, Ole Anderson back in there. Back in. Luger, back of the head, Eddie Roberts. Whoa! Whoa! My goodness. That's all I can say about that move. Arn Anderson! Spine buster. And now the tag to Ole. Ricky Lee Jones trying to come in to help out Eddie Roberts. Slam right to a neutral corner. Opposite side. Roberts taken to the corner of the Horseman. Tag to Tully from Ole. One of the most dominating forces, not only in professional wrestling today, but in the history of wrestling, the Horsemen. Ole up top. Right on the shoulder. Roberts probably cannot take any more. He can't. The winners, Lex Luger, Ole and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and a show of unity with James J. Dillon. Members of the Horsemen. And once again, a reminder to join us tomorrow night, 5:35 Eastern Time, right here on the Superstation, for our Sunday edition of World Championship Wrestling. With all that's gone on, the fines levied to the Midnight Express, and of course, Cornette being suspended from TV and from the arenas, we'll have a lot of news for you, including hopefully an update on the situation concerning Ronnie Garvin. We all saw him on TV. We saw what he looked like. It's not a pretty sight, but Ronnie Garvin is the type of individual that will come back in professional wrestling and come right after the Midnight Express. That's not all, though. Not only the Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express and Big Bubba have to contend with Ronnie Garvin, but also a man who's very proud to be his brother. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, along with Precious, will be at the end there also. Fans, don't forget, 5:35 tomorrow night, Superstation, Sunday edition of World Championship Wrestling. We'll see you next week.